and then I can. This is wonderful. Okay, so can we try it?
So we are. Let's see. Let's get your. I think this is the one that you want first, right?
Right. Okay. Okay. Just stop the video. Can we stop the video? You're recording it now. All right. Can we stop it and then let's see how we look? And then.
I don't know if I get to. I can't play it back without shutting everything down.
Oh yeah, we have to. We have to. All right. Okay.
Start all over. I have to kill the whole meeting and come back and.
Oh, never mind then. So I think we're okay. Let's start.
Now,
exactly.
what I will be able to do is, I'll be able to edit. So
that's
if we goof around for a minute here at the start, I can. I'll be able to actually go back and cut the goofing around part out.
All right. Now we can. Wait. I think I need my. Oh yeah. Here you go. Okay. All right. All right. Let's start.
Oh, you know what I should have had? I could probably get it still, is your bio on here.
I don't have my bio there.
I can wing it. That's okay.
Thank you.
I can wing it. So
wait, let me see where I should be putting. Yeah, this one is much clearer, right? Here, this one. Here. No. No. Here.
and
Much clearer, right?
The top one. You want me to start with Helen Keller?
Yeah. My cousins will get mad at me for mentioning my dad. But you know, it's really my testimony and I cannot just say anything that's not true.
That makes sense.
That's really my testimony, and this is why I can be inspirational for those young people or old people who've been from a dysfunctional family, and how you can pick yourself up from there. It's all up to you, actually, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, anyways, I think. Okay, can you see me clearly?
Yes.
Can you see me clearly? All right. Okay. So can we start?
We'll do.
Yeah, we can start.
We'll get started. Hello, everybody. This is Mike at Mike's Mastermind, and today we have Mary D. Monroe. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Monroe, right?
Like Mary Angela Moore.
Mary Angela Moore. I knew that. Okay.
Wait, from the top.
From the top.
Just edit. Just edit.
Hello, everybody. This is Mike Long.
Take two.
Hello, everybody. This is Mike Long with Mike's Mastermind, and today we have Mary D. Moore with us, and she is a Rotarian. She's the president of our E-Planet Shaking Rotary, and also John Maxwell certified trainer and English teacher. She just has a biography that goes on and on and on. And I'm going to introduce her to you and let her say hello.
Hi, I'm Mary, and nice meeting you all. And thank you for having me, Mike.
I'm glad you could be here. It's awesome. I can tell everybody it's a little challenging. We recorded because Mary is in the Philippines, and we have a little bit of a tough time getting the technology meshed up as far as internet signals and days of the week. But we should have some great stuff for you today. Mary's got a lot of good things going on. So we have her Helen Keller quote up.
All right, so let me start. Shall I start? Okay, so I'm going to rewind a little bit of my life story. I came from a dysfunctional family, it's sad to say. Um, but well, I should tell everyone that I had forgiven my father and that I love him, and that I should thank him for the genes that I had inherited from him, my charm, my public speaking ability, and everything that all the talents that I have, I inherited from him. And I have to credit my mom for the looks, for the charm, and for the good natured being that I am. I got this all from my mom. I have to say that when I was a little girl, I thought that I was good for nothing because my biological father used to tell me that I was stupid, I was good for nothing, and that I will not amount to anything. And so I thought, like when I was a little kid, I was really ugly in the first place because I grew up with a very beautiful mother, and most of the girls or ladies around me were so stunning, and I was short and a little bit chubby, and I thought that was ugly. And I was shy until such time that until such time that I met wonderful people who encouraged me, and of course they were not members of my family. These people who encouraged me were actually best friends, close friends that I met from organizations or churches. And so they made me realize that I'm such a wonderful creature of God, and that God does not create a mess. So I blossomed from there. Okay.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And it's great to be able to overcome.
Yes.
So we go back to this document,
All right. So I
and I'll get your.
okay. Yeah, so I had my striving years. I was a single mom at a very tender age. And at that time, I didn't know where to go and what to do. But later on, during this teleconference that I have with Mike, I'm able to share with you how I overcame the trials of being a single mom. And for now, I would say that I would be very helpful with my friends. No, not yet. Mike, still there.
Okay.
It's still there.
Page
Okay.
turner, Mary.
All
So
right.
I'm messing
So
it up.
yeah. Okay. So I should say I should say that for now, if you'd noticed, Mike, I've been very helpful because I realized that without the help of other people, I wouldn't be able to be where I am at right now. So it is very important that there has to be some people supporting us. So that's why I came up with this quote. When I was young and fighting for survival, life was all about helping myself. Now that I'm older and successful, well, relatively successful, life is all about helping others. So I'd like to help others for now. Okay. All right, stay there. In our quest to success, and especially for us, Mike, like you and me, we're very creative people. We're proactive. My my headset. Okay. We are proactive. We are early adapters. And early adapters like us who are innovators and planet shakers, we are often misunderstood by some or most people. But one thing that my advice for those innovators and creative people who are oftentimes misunderstood, you just have to stay put and be confident. Because at the end of the day, it is not going to be between you and them, but it is going to be between you and your creator. Because there's someone who created you for a purpose and a reason, and that you live for that purpose and for that reason. And that reason is for you to fulfill, is to fulfill the vision of your creator, which is for you to serve others. Men, for you to be man or woman for others. So you can be very talented, whatever area of giftedness you're serving, it's still service. Um, Service doesn't necessarily mean giving your services for free. You still need to live decent life. So whether it is paid or not, it is still service. So we are born to serve others.
That makes sense, and we want to use the gifts we were given to their fullest. I'm sure that's going to come up when we talk to
All
the
right, I
creator.
came up with this quote, Mike. I came up with this quote in connection to the previous one, uh, because most of the time, some of our strategies cannot be understood by like let's say laggards. There are people who are laggards, and they get to realize that we're right after some time, after some few years. Some will us who are the right brained ones, the creative ones, actually receive the creative energy ahead of a lot of people. So once again, let this quote inspire all of you that even if no one understands your path, you keep walking because your journey is all about you and your divine creator. Again, our divine creator, or if you don't believe in God, then you just have to believe in yourself that you created you, or God created you, or whoever created you. But you see, we are all creatures here on earth. Um, we were and we are created for a purpose. And if you know your purpose, you will not just be let down by anyone. You keep fighting for that mission and vision to be fulfilled. Well, this quote that I wrote was inspired by the late Dr. Miles Monroe from the Bahamas. If you had heard about him, you can Google him. He was a very, very successful inspirational speaker and author, and he had inspired me a lot, especially during my teenage days. And let me share this with you. And one of those quotes that I really treasure, okay, is this: God loves dreamers, He gives visions, and He is attracted to people who dream big. Don't forget that you are unique, special, and irreplaceable. The word irreplaceable rang a bell into my ears, which means that no matter where you came from, you can come from a dysfunctional family, but the fact that you're irreplaceable and unique, you are special, and that alone would encourage all of us to move forward and to keep reaching for whatever goal we have in life.
I kind of got spanked last night by a young lady I was talking to online. She had complimented me on my greeting or something I had sent her, and I said that I, kind of go out of my way to be unique and different. And she kind of very appropriately told me that, we're all unique and different. That's not uncommon. That I'm not the only one. That was worth thinking about.
All right. Okay. Well, this is a bit about this. The next thing here is this is like moving forward. Moving forward. Um, I started teaching online way back 2004. No one taught me this. Well, no one taught me, and I didn't have any money for capitalization. But then I wanted to be an entrepreneur, so I wanted to the Yahoo chat room, and I observed how business people would advertise their products. Like people from Pakistan would say like, okay, this is the price, wholesale price for our carpets and our clothing and our Pakistani costume. And then the Indians would do the same, the Chinese would do the same. And here was this weird, I thought that was weird lady. Was my first time to see such kind of an advertisement. And she floated a one-line ad which said something like this: 100 US dollars for a 20-minute show. And then I said, like, what is that show that she's selling? And it's online. And I just realized that I followed some guys who followed her, and I asked them what that show was. And they said, oh, it's like a go-go show, like a striptease like that online. And so she inspired me to sell English. And so I said, oh, so then if she can sell her striptease online, then I can sell my English classes. So right then and there, I experimented. And here was this one-liner advertisement which I floated: study English with Mary Moore. PM me. And that's all. I didn't put any price because I didn't even know how much would it cost for me to be teaching English. Okay, from that day on, okay, that was just, after that, it's just about history. Because after that one-liner thing, I got a lot of PMs, mostly from the Middle East, and then mostly from the Middle East, and then I went to a little bit of China and then Korea. I stayed put with Korea because the Koreans and the Japanese were rather very serious with their studies, and with my kind of temperament at that time, I would be patient dealing with very, very serious students. Okay, so
Mary, that is really cool that you were, talk about being ahead of the curve. 2004 was 14 years ago.
yes, and in fact, at that
You
time,
were
let me
such a
tell,
darn long
yeah,
time. There wasn't a lot of people making their income online that long ago.
yes, and at that time, actually, it was very easy for me to sell because people would just say like, "Oh, you're a genius. You're teaching online using Yahoo." Yeah, and then I said yes. Well, I said yes, and I still have some students actually who are with me. They're still with me. In fact, it's funny because I was in LinkedIn, and there was this Korean guy who just sent me a message, and he said like, Mary, I was one of your students before. Thank you so much for teaching me. Now I'm in France, doing good with my employment. And I said, oh yeah. Okay, so
And
yeah, well,
your students would have been ahead of their time to be bothered learning English back then too.
yes,
I don't think anybody saw how small the world was going to get in the next 14 years with the internet.
correct, and yes, correct. Then I was using Yahoo, and then after a while, I switched to Skype. In 2005, one of my students from yeah, one of my students was interviewed by one of the television stations in Korea, and he was asked um, how Skype is helping him with his studies. I was just not, Mike. I didn't keep any of those memorabilia because I just thought I was just playing a game. Like, okay, yeah, I discovered something, and that was for me just a bread and butter. And I didn't know that I would be one of maybe the forerunners of online English. So,
That's
in
pretty
fact,
awesome.
at that time, my family was telling me I was stupid for doing online English,
And
and
just like sex and striptease, you discovered something that people wanted, something there
yes,
was a market for, that people were willing to pay for. That's great.
yes. And so, right now I can just sit back and relax because I already had established myself. My clients actually pay me for a year or 6 months in advance. Well, because I don't even need a website because don't for my English stuff. I already have teachers teaching for me in their respective houses, and I don't want to make this really big because I go for quality. I go for quality. There are some suppliers of English students who wouldn't like me to teach what I really wanted my students to learn. They would like their traditional ways So I would say no to money rather than teach them the wrong thing. So I'm not making this very big. And this is true. Okay.
Nice
Real
to
education.
be, it's nice to be able to be picky with who you work with some too.
Pardon?
It's nice to be able to pick and choose a little bit who you're going to work with. I
You're
know
right.
I've had people that wanted to do me to do different things for them that, yeah, I was just too busy. I just, you could see they were going to be a lot of more pain to work with than they were going to be worth having by a long shot. It's nice to be able to choose.
Correct. You're right. Well, I'd learned from that. I mean, like all those years, my second year of teaching English, I needed a lot of teachers already at that time. And I was young and I didn't know how to manage and I didn't know how to lead. And so I came up with my passion to profit, my love affair with Pentium 4. That would contain a lot of my mistakes and how I was able to solve them. So if you see me now leading with love and compassion and uh, well, as you get very much considerate of the needs of other people, that is because I'd learned from my mistakes.
I left that out of your bio too. Mary is an author. Passion to Profit. My love for Pentium 4. That's on Amazon now.
Yeah, thank you so much for plugging that. Actually, that's why I came up with this. Long time ago, CEOs stay in the office to manage their businesses. Today, CEOs just carry their gadgets and manage their businesses anywhere. Thanks God for having me born in this beyond the border business generation that allows me to manage my business without the confines of a four-cornered room. My office is in Facebook. It's where I keep everything. And my office is in my iPad. It's in my iPad. So I should be updating that book. It should be like my love affair with my iPad and my cell phone. I seldom use my laptop. It's kind of big now. It's written in my book that for the past 10 years, I lived a semi-monastic life because I had to be in front of my PC, manning the operation, like checking on my teachers or teaching online in the respective houses, checking into the web if it's operating well. I did that for the past 10 years. But you see, this is just so liberating that the, the minutization of the gadgets made it easier for online businesses to operate without the confines of brick and mortar.
That's great.
Yes.
And very much the future. It's only going to get bigger.
Yes. Okay. This one is funny. A lot of people would tell me like, "Oh, that's an oxymoron because you cannot be a divine spoiled brat." I said, "I am always oxymoronic." Okay. Okay. So I think with all those hurdles that I had successfully handled all throughout those past years of my life, I would really say that I'm a divine spoiled girl. I sometimes fail and fall, but in the end, I always win.
Persistence is key, isn't it?
Yes, persistence, patience, and faith. And you cannot have this amount of persistence if you don't have the faith that in the end you will get what you want. So yeah, I think you're persistent if you know and you know that you have it and you will, okay? And you will get there. So it's always note to myself every day when I wake up, I would tell myself, I'm going to get what is for me, what the universe has to offer me. And I am not going to stop until I get it.
I say, my quote would be, it's impossible to lose if you don't quit. You just learn another lesson on the way to where you want to get to be.
You're
Quitting is
right.
the only way to lose.
Yes.
So that's pretty big.
Okay. So this one I told myself, I became so immune of what people say. You see, once you in social media, I have about 80,000 followers now, and I don't even want to make it bigger because I go for quality. In fact, it was bigger before, but now I I trimmed it down to 80, and I still would like to trim it down to 10,000 or 5,000 quality. So because I realized that as you do things and as you become not really, like a little successful, and as you do things, as you advance in your career, a lot of people judge you, misjudge you. Well, according to their standards. But you see, the older I get, the more I understand that it's okay to live a life others don't understand. The thing is, you must understand yourself, and then your niche market, the people you love must understand you, and that's all that matters. We
I
cannot
have a
please
question
everyone.
for you, Mary. The
Yeah.
one we're on that subject. I even have myself picked up a hater or two in my day. Um,
Hmm.
how do you do with that? You're so nice and sweet and hardworking. I can't believe anybody would have issues with you. But me on the other hand,
Mike,
I'm kind of ornery.
I I learned that through the years. I'm the exact opposite of who I was. I used to shout at my employees. I used to I used to be very highly idealistic and perfectionist, and I mean, I didn't change overnight. I changed through the years. What was life changing was when I was I was mentored by the past Miles Monroe. He's not in my bio because even before I formally enrolled in his course, he already passed away in his jet plane. But boy, if there's really someone had touched my life, it was Dr. Miles Monroe. He still had left a legacy in YouTube. He still has his books online. Please buy those books. And if I ever had written a book, it was because of him. Um, I was one thing that had touched me about Dr. Miles. I mean, I'd met him twice, and in spite of him being a big wig in inspirational speaking in churches, in book authoring. He was a bestseller and he was famous. He remained humble. And I looked at myself and I said, like, why should I be so proud and why should I be hurting people? And I looked within myself and I said that I was hurting people because I was hurt inside of me. Let me cry. I felt
So
like,
you were able to make an enemy or two on the way up as well as I am,
all
huh?
right, so it was a journey before I even changed. Before I became who I am now, I told myself that I need to change myself because that garbage within really stinks. That shit
Oh,
within that we see
yeah.
really stinks. And no matter how much you really smile, people can see that in you, and your aura becomes so negative. I think
I have resigned myself
some
just to block those people out and ignore them. They have no. I'm not going to let them ruin a single minute of my day, let alone the whole day. Um,
yeah, Mike, you might be able to hear someone and say, "Oh, Mary's this. She's drunk. She's she's not good at people. She doesn't have friends. That's I mean, I will say yes, that was before. But I had some reasons. It was really very difficult. You see, you came from a dysfunctional family and then you became a single mom and then you were the sole breadwinner and the people who I hired for English with Mary Moore were not qualified. They were the people who needed help and I was needing help. I
because you
should be
wanted to
hiring
help
people
them.
who can help me and not me helping them. Um, well, I was ignorant. So, well, that's why now, Mike, I'm very choosy with the people I work with. And yeah, and thank God, we're working together in our Rotary Planet Shakers. Um, Everything is just shaping up. And
Yeah, we're just warming up there. That's going to be a lot of fun.
it is, it is. And I just, yeah, and I didn't know how to have fun, Mike. I mean, I didn't know how to really have fun. I just knew how to work and work and work. And that was, I led an imbalanced life too. So all this, like self healing, and then you're right, blocking off people. And I
I
just,
had to go through, I went through the first time I took a good kick.
hmm
The reaction, if you just let yourself react instead of respond, the reaction is to kick back.
hmm
And I kind of desperately wanted to, and I have some resources I could do some damage, but I took a night and thought about it and said, no, you know what? I just got to pretend that never happened and move on. It's not worth giving anybody the satisfaction of letting them ruin your day or a minute of your day. You just have
yeah, okay,
to ignore
you're
them,
right.
put them away and ignore them and go do something else. Um,
Yes. Actually, Mike, I will also interview you in my live Facebook show. I think it's worth interviewing you. I know that you have a wonderful story that people can learn from.
well, every day is a new adventure, and sometimes when you share it, maybe you can save somebody else the mistakes or find them a shortcut that you took a long time finding too.
You're right. Actually, um, learning from our evaluated experience is good, but it's wiser for us to learn from other people's experience so we will not experience that drudgery ourselves anymore.
You can save
Save
the
us
time.
from
Yeah,
mistakes.
yeah.
Yes.
I wish you wish as a father that raise some kids. It's really hard to get them to understand that, and I didn't from my parents, and I wish I would have, to understand that you can benefit from their experience and learn
hmm
and save some mistakes that they had to pay for, if you would just shut up and listen. But I never
Never
wasn't
listen. Me too. I was stubborn.
I wasn't as good at that as
Okay.
I should have been. Yeah.
Okay.
I wish I'd been a
Okay.
little better
Up,
at
up,
that.
up, down, 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 down. I mean, that one is nice. Okay. Please, the other one, down,
Down. Okay.
down, please. No, 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 no. That's going
Yep.
up, down, down. The
Gotcha.
one with
Back to
live
where
your
we
life
were.
like a
Okay.
queen. All right. I
Right
wrote
about
that.
here.
Okay, the one, the one. Okay. I wrote that. Let me inspire you with this. I hope someone gets inspired with this. It is possible to live like a queen in a game of chess. That's what you call being wise. You see, in this world, a lot of people will put you down. A lot of people will throw very negative comments on you. They will badmouth you. But if you know how to live your life like a queen in a game of chess, you will always win. But you see, winning is not a matter of doing things overnight. You have to persist, just like what Mike said. You have to empower yourself. You need to grow every day. You need to have friends and like-minded people surrounding you. Thank you. I have another one with me, Mike. Okay. Yeah, one of those friends who empower you and support you. And you need to meditate as well. Whatever your religion is, you have to cultivate on your spirituality, because it's also one of those, it's going to be one of your aces. If you are grounded, you must also grow intellectually and be open to learning every day. You must also not only grow intellectually and spiritually, you must also be healthy physically, and you must feel good about yourself. Okay, so that's just how, in a nutshell, living your life like a queen in a game of chess.
Hmm.
How about you, Mike? I'm
I,
sure
I
you are
would
living
think
yourself like a king.
Yeah, I was going to say I usually avoid that queen description, but that's all good.
Well, pardon, say that again.
Yeah, I try not to fit that queen description very often.
Okay. Um, but I think, Mike, you are doing your ball game quite fine.
That's a cute picture of you in this one, Mary. You got a kind of a silly smile on
Thank
your face.
you. Okay, that's what I was telling you. Be a spring. If people try to put you down, put you in a box, like press you down, be a spring. Make sure that through your queenly strategies, they will release you. And when they release you, you will just bounce back 100 times, and it will just amaze them.
And I love eagles.
I love eagles too.
In fact,
Okay.
I have a somewhere in my timeline as I have a friend who had must have been a guy in a boat that got an eagle on his phone camera from about 10 feet away coming down and grabbing a fish, and he got actually probably a whole minute's worth of footage of this eagle that close. I thought that was the one of the cooler things I ever saw.
Mm-hmm. Why do you like the eagle? Is it your favorite bird?
Oh, for sure. Eagle
What?
and okay, this is weird, but the other one is the crow. Because when my
Okay.
boy was young and my mom was still around, we
Mm-hmm.
used to go visit her in the morning before school in the car with no roof. And she had cancer. She wasn't able to be close. So she would walk up to the window and she had a crow in her garden that was there to scare the something or other off. And she'd take the crow out and caw at my son through the window. So now
Yeah.
she's been gone a while now, and I still think of her when I hear a crow. So eagles and
Mm-hmm.
crows are my favorite birds.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. So now I'll continue on with this slide, and you already had explained it why you like the eagle. It's a most powerful bird. Okay. So I I wrote this quote because just like like you and I are entrepreneurs, and in our entrepreneurial journey, we make decisions sometimes of transacting with the wrong people. They deceive us, they deceive us, and they don't give us what we are supposed to do. So, I mean, I'm sorry, let me recast. Someone had disturbed me. In our entrepreneurial quest, people deceive us and they cheat on us, and sometimes because of that deception, or because of whatever the negative things that surrounded a certain business venture, somehow they crush us down financially, morally, and everything. But whatever you are undergoing, you have to you have to maintain your integrity, because eagles win by integrity, snakes win by treachery. So you see, if you're an eagle, you know how to strategize. You're not desperate. You can always go through any circumstance with integrity because you are moving from above. If you're a snake, you're moving and crawling, and the only thing that you know is to be treacherous. So once, like all of you out here who are watching, and if you would like to be entrepreneurs or business people, always make sure that you are fair with your dealings. Make sure, especially with your financial dealings with your customers, especially if you're doing an online business, because all online businesses are actually prepaid. Make sure that you are there on time, you deliver your services on time and to the best of your ability. Because if no matter how your competitors would like to pin you down, they cannot. If you are an eagle, because you win by integrity. You are operating your business from above the clouds, above the storms, so no one can pin you down. If you're operating your business like a snake, you're operating treacherously. You're not operating with excellence and integrity and love and service. You will easily disappear. Your business will be toppled so easily by other competitors. So again, always remember that be an eagle, not a snake.
And I think if, win-win is wonderful.
Yes,
You're
right.
going to have a much better career if you always help who you're dealing with to win right along with you.
Mm-hmm. All right, this one is, parting away, like what you said, just block negative people. Yeah. Life is a journey, as we walk along this life, sometimes people follow us, go with us, and not everyone is actually for us. So when I opened my eyes after several years in business, and I said, like, I just realized that not everyone can be very helpful in our journey. So there are people who are assigned for us. So it's not really easy to determine them. You need skills. So once I had that skill and I realized who and what kind of people should I be bringing into my life and who should I be blessing in return, only then my life had progressed. I had progressed. Okay, so I wrote this realizing that those who left my path were just the maggots on my cake, and those who stayed on are tons of yeast. This profile that we are using right now is a new profile. And if you notice, Mike, I have some friends who've been with me for since I started, and they're just quiet. But yeah, one well, Dwayne is actually Dwayne has been in my network for 9 years, and he's seen, I think, my ups and downs. Deborah Levine, our best-selling author, who is also a Huffington Post writer. She's still with me, and she still collaborates with me on and off with some of my projects. She's with me ever since I started with my English with Mary Moore, and she knew me, my online activities ever since I started. And I still have Ivona Mikno from the Netherlands, who was my student in 2008. So they'd seen me grow, and these people I kept in my life really had helped me bloom. And those people had left me. Upon their leaving, I bloomed better. Okay. All right. This next is my advice. Next post is my advice to those who are not happy with employment. Guys, money can't buy you happiness. So wherever you are, whatever status of life you're in, if you're unhappy where you are, you have to think twice. It might be time for you to go to the next level.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
well,
know that feeling myself. I've had
right now,
I've had that issue for a while. I want to get to the next level and move out of the day job concept.
so now you're in the next level, I'm sure.
I'm working on it hard.
Yeah, we are working hard, all of us. We really work hard to go to the next level. And I think I think you're making, I think you are on the right track, Mike.
I like this slide, Mary. Kind of goes to bravery, not being the absence of fear. It's the ability to do what you want to and need to, regardless of the fear.
You're right. You're right.
I like
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yeah, I wrote this. Well, this was inspired by Dr. Miles Monroe. I just reworded it But one of our sessions, he said that it is unfortunate when talents are wasted due to cowardice in facing new horizons and climbing unknown heights. This is specially dedicated to some of my family members who discouraged me, who could have discouraged me to climb and pursue my passion. At that time, they just wanted me to pursue employment, but I persisted, and this is for them that they were actually afraid of my future. They love me, and so that's why they wanted me to have a stable job, which is employment. But I, of course, followed my heart, and I went into entrepreneurship, and I did not regret any minute of it.
Why
Okay.
in my current home business, the very last place I'm going to go is family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
Far, far down the road. I'm not in any hurry to talk to any of them. Um,
Actually, it's because they love us and they're so concerned about our future that they would like us to be stable. And stability for most of them is employment.
yeah, the model's changing slowly, but you know, a lot of people aren't realizing it yet.
Yes.
Employment's
Okay.
not what it used to be.
Yes, right. Okay. Yeah. Walt Disney was one of my inspirations, his life and his quotes and his books. And this one I got this from Walt Disney, and it said all dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. So it's all a matter of courage, persistence, tenacity, and and all those characteristics that would, a mix of characteristics that would make us succeed. All right, this one is about serendipitous occurrences, like meeting the right people. So every person I met along the way had connected the dots in my life's puzzle. Every photo I kept contained a story of the hows and the whys and the whats of my adventures or misadventures. In many different ways, different occasions, my life, I should say, is a story of my divine creator's grace and mercy. Without these hands holding mine, where would I be? This is, well, I wrote this after 10 years of English with Mary Moore, and I was posting and looking back at my Facebook posts of the events I did and the people I met and how I'd helped these people and how they'd helped to me. And Mike, where do you get your clients? Your clients, you don't know them, they're not even your friends, and they just come into your life and kind of help you and appreciate you and trust you, and they enrich you and you enrich them, and that's why I wrote this. I really wouldn't even know why I got those clients, where they're coming from. They just trust me. They pay me a year in advance, 6 months in advance, without asking who I am. And this is so much of a blessing. Meeting people like you who trust me, people like people in our club, um, people everywhere who just trust you, invite you to speak before them, and appreciate your gems, ideas, and thoughts. That's something else. So
Things happen for a reason, don't they?
all right. So, well, this is a continuation of that. Somewhere, someone is looking for exactly what you have to offer. So, entrepreneurs, business people who need clients, don't you worry, because you are, because you just have to believe that there is someone who needs your service, and it's just a matter of you going out there to the field, telling people who you are and what you can offer. So
You know, for
that,
those that are starting a business, maybe I'm amazed at how many things work for different people. I swear, if you are passionate about something, if there's something you love, start a business with it. There is the 80 billion people on the internet, or however many billion people there are out there. There's a
yeah,
market for every single thing. There's a market for things that you and I never even thought of.
correct.
It's
You're right.
If you love
I
it,
mean,
you
you
can
see,
make
Mike, I
it.
started with nothing. I started with 50 bucks and nothing. And I thought I I wouldn't be able to eat the next day. And when I started, floating English with Mary Moore, and I got the 64 people PM me, and I said, like, wow. Okay, it's really just a matter of trying to find the right customers, right venues, and some people call it luck. They said like in business you just need luck, but I don't think it's luck. It's actually you trying to find your luck.
Yeah, but all of a sudden you realized you were going to make a living doing it.
Yes.
That's great.
Right.
It had to have been a great feeling.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, the next one is I wrote this after 9 years or 10 years. This is very recent. This quotation is very recent. And yeah, like what I've told you earlier, I was not as sweet as you can see right now. I was really looking ugly. I was fat, and I didn't like to make myself pretty. I was so desperate. I was looking really ugly and bad. I was bad inside. I was bad outside. And I just realized that after I had put my place into order, I just realized that if you learn from your mistakes, life can be as sweet as an Oreo cake. I love Oreo. Okay.
And I don't think, mistakes aren't a bad thing. Like I said, as long as you don't quit, they're just a lesson.
Yes, we just really learn from evaluated experience as long as we learn. But the best way to learn is not try to experience it yourself. Try to learn from the experience of others.
Let,
That's why we are here. Like Mike is here to mentor all of you. He'd like to mentor you so that you will not be doing the same mistakes as maybe he did earlier in his life.
yeah, and
That's
I
why
try
you need
to learn from
mentor.
folks and people, and pretty much there's nobody you can't learn from something from either.
Yes,
There are
you're right.
people that you'd never expect to that walk away, and I say, man, they just taught me something.
Correct. Okay, let's proceed to the next slide. I wrote this with a realization that no, don't belittle yourself. Don't belittle the tiny little things that you do towards the fulfillment of your goals, because every journey begins with a single step. Okay?
And if you make those steps every day, they add up to great big things. Those little,
Correct. Correct. And yeah, here's another from Miles Monroe. You must decide if you're going to rob the world or bless it with the rich, valuable, potent, untapped resources locked away within you. And let me expound on this a bit. There's so much greatness trapped in each one of us. And the nets that trap us are actually bitterness. So we need to heal ourselves first and then realize the greatness within us. Then if we realize the greatness within us, then we will be able to unlock and unleash the potentials within us. And that way, because we are all created to bless others. So when we start blessing others, helping others, paid or pro bono, it doesn't make a difference. As long as we're helping people, then life becomes better.
and that's my favorite quote in the world is probably Zig Ziglar's. Helping others is the quickest way to get everything that you want in life.
Correct, correct. Yeah, Zig Ziglar is really one of those people that we love, all of us, right?
Yeah, I love that. That quote's one of my very favorites, and I do believe in it.
Yes. Okay, now this is very
Yeah,
recent
I like
because
that piece of paper right there, right? That,
this is very recent because yeah, well, I added something to my portfolio. So aside from English teaching and managing my online English, I I added leadership training and inspirational speaking in my portfolio, and that's why I came up with this. Leadership is not about being popular. It's all about casting a vision and getting it done through like-hearted and like-minded individuals. If you want to make everyone happy, don't be a leader, sell ice cream.
That's funny. That Casey that I introduced you to yesterday, he would love that.
Yeah. But
And
because,
you know what?
as a leader,
I need leaders, mentors of my own, to be willing to step up and put a whooping on me every now and then. Um, Ray Higdon, I'm in Rank Makers, and he did a video a couple weeks ago that just pretty much blistered the folks that were there that weren't using it for what they could be. And doggone it, he was right about me.
hmm
You know, he was right about me, and I think he taught me and motivated me, got me off my rear end, and got going. And that's
hmm
anybody that can do that accomplish something. That's a good thing. I think we keep sneaking back out of action when we don't pay attention to staying in action all the time.
correct.
It's just what you focus on is where you go, and you have to keep focusing on where you want to go.
Okay.
Who's our
All right. This
lady?
is funny. This is funny. Uh, because I'm a free person. I wear anything I want to wear, and in well, that's actually I think uh, a buffet, lunch buffet, and one of my friends just told me like, "Oh, you're wearing shorts. Don't you think it's a beach wear?" That's in a hotel dinner lunch, I think. And then I said like, well, and he said like, don't you think you're weird? I said, no, I'm not weird. I'm I'm a limited edition.
The limited edition. Okay.
No, let me share with you. A lot of people have negative things to say about you. So it's really all up to you to say the positive things for you. See, don't wait for others to say all positive things about you. If you can't hear any positive things from them, you have to you have to psych up yourself with all the positive things.
Go on
Okay.
out.
Oh yeah, this one because I was not and I'm not. I really don't. I said I'm very free and um, a, a lot of my friends who are close to me because I'm not a best dresser. They would say like, you're not a best dresser. You have to dress this way and that way. And okay, so what I told them was, I'm not my dress. My substance is my clothing. Or there was this lady, I'm not gonna say, how am I related to her, but she'd always tell me like, you look like my maid when you're with me, because she's always dolled up. I'm not, and so I would always tell her like, I'm not my dress. My substance is my clothing. Saint Teresa helped. Um, Saint Teresa had an audience with the most powerful people in the world in her old flip flops. So, you know, your dress can enhance, but it's still your substance that is very important.
Yes, there she would be. Look at that. That's neat.
Yeah. And she's in her old flip flops.
That's neat.
All right. Here again for short people, who are not tall. And people tell you, like, oh, you don't amount to anything. You're so short. You're so small. I always tell myself and all the rest who are small, let me inspire you, that height is not the issue. Depth is. Dr. Jose Rizal, the greatest hero of the Philippines, was 4'11". And Napoleon Bonaparte, you know who he is, he was 4'11". They're shorter than I am. I'm 5'1" at least.
I think that I think that maybe inspires and motivates some people. They And especially among guys. I don't think ladies as much, but with guys, I think some people, because they are short, they feel it's necessary to prove themselves more.
Actually, that's why here in Asia, there's this there they sell a lot of stuff for height augmentation. They sell Chinese balls, Chinese pills, milk or something, just so to add length or height to Asians. That's really more for Asians. But oh yeah, let me tell you the story. I went to Mount Soraksan in Korea, and that was like grand. It is like as grand as Yosemite Falls in Yosemite Mountain Range in the U.S. And well, every time I visit these huge mountain ranges, I always tell myself like I'm just a little needle, you know, in the midst of all this mountain range. But you see, my brain is even a bigger universe than all this mountain range that I see.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. I like
Not,
that.
not yet. Wait, that's I think that's important. I think that's important. The other one. That's a last. Okay, that's a last. Okay. This one is look back, but don't go back. This is what I'm saying. In our journey, we make mistakes. We meet people who are just so notorious, and sometimes we were even notorious too. The best thing is
I still
just
am some
learn.
days.
Yeah, learn from our experiences, and then forgive people. Never hate them. Just forgive them. Uh, just forgive them, but don't trust them anymore. Just looking back so that you can learn from your challenges and become a better person. So to become a better person, you just don't look back with bitterness.
That makes
And
sense. I like that.
yeah, and okay, and the next slide. This is an inverted presentation. The title supposed to be of this sharing is a lot of people used to tell me, you can't. And I told them, watch me. Well, my friends, Mike, I'm not saying that I'm really super successful now, but I know that I'm in the right track. So, with this, thank you for listening. And it is really my sincerest hope that my life will become an encouragement to others because we're made to help others, we're made to bless others. And so, I hope that I was able to make you happy, bless you, and encourage you in your journey.
It was great having you, Mary, and I would hope that we can get together another day. I know we've got the Wealthtopia. I'd love to get through that. Um,
Actually, it was supposed to be the Voltopia, but you already had started with this one. So I said, well, maybe it's a divine inspiration.
well, maybe it was, but I'd like to get you back for the Wealthtopia too at some point because that I think they're both pretty good. And
Thank you so much, Mike. And
when-
I should interview you too in my Facebook Live, the Brainy Biz Waves, because you're brainy and you've got nice waves for a lot of people. So you have to be my show too.
awesome, awesome. I'll be glad to. I will
By
be.
the way, you look 20 years younger. What did you do?
You like my new camera?
Is it your camera or is
I
it
got a
something
better
like,
camera from Amazon. Yes,
oh, yeah?
I got a better.
Yeah, I mean, you look 20 years younger, you look more radiant, and you look more like a philosopher and a scientist and a guru, and oh, fantastic.
And I'm well nourished. I got that going for me. So we're trying. We're trying.
Yes, we all keep trying.
Try to get younger instead of older as we go.
Oh, yeah, no one gets older nowadays.
Yeah, I think we've got a lot of years to get younger.
Yeah, so we have to get old. Uh, that's what you call, there's a scientific word for that, but I forgot. Like ret not retrogress, but
Regression.
uh,
Regression.
not regression, but we get younger by years, not older.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's best to do that for the next decade or two.
Yes. So this is what I always tell people. I don't lie, but when you ask me of my age, I might lie. So don't ask my age.
I didn't ask. I did not ask. I know better. And
Because I'm 25 forever.
I know that I felt that making it to 30 would be a beautiful thing. And I guess I've had a lot of bonus days, and I appreciate that. I want to keep those coming. My brain still kind of thinks I'm 16 or maybe 21.
That's beautiful because it's like that childlike brain actually triggers the playfulness, the playfulness, and so it gives you the feeling of fun. Yeah,
I'm
that's
hoping.
what you call, like boyish. Being boyish is good sometimes.
I am hoping. Well, it's been a pleasure, Mary. Thank you for coming, and we will definitely get together again and have a lot
I'd
of
love
going
to.
on.
I will actually be guesting in a local radio station here. I will be live streaming this through my Facebook page, and I hope you'll be able to watch it. I'll do Weltopia Generation.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We need to do that. So we'll see you the next time then.